In those days, lepers were ostracized from society because they were believed to be considered highly contagious. They would not have been permitted to interact with their families or hold a job in public. They would often live in groups outside of a city, literally surviving on the scraps of the trash heap. They just existed as phantom people who were waiting to die. They would have been required by Jewish law to keep their distance from people. And as they approached them, you know what you had to yell if you had leprosy? Unclean! Unclean! Imagine that. Your greeting for everybody that you come in contact with is, I'm unclean. And rather than discard them like trash or treat them as phantom people, Jesus actually responded to them. He responded to them with grace and compassion. Simple command. Just go and show yourself to the priest. Just go and show yourself to the priest. And it says they went and were healed along the way. And one of them, seeing he's healed, he ran back to Jesus and he fell at his feet with gratitude, praising God. Natural question. Where are the other 9? I'm pretty confident that I told you all to go show yourself to the priest, and 10 were healed on the way, and you're the only one that returned to give praise to God. And the one who returned, by the way, it's just an afterthought that stated he was a Samaritan. Remember, Samaritans were hated by Jews. They were considered less than or unclean. So as far as the Jewish people were concerned, a Samaritan with leprosy was doubly cursed. They considered the Samaritans half-breeds, literally, because their pure Jewish genes had been tainted by Moabite blood, and they were Samaritans. This small, subtle detail that we read as an afterthought. An audience hearing this or witnessing this, they would have gasped in disbelief. And why did Jesus tell the 10 lepers to go and show themselves to the priest? Because, see, the priest would have been the one who had declared them unclean in the first place. You are unclean. We're kicking you out of society. Lose your life. Go. You're unclean. And it was the priest who would have needed to declare them clean so they could re-enter society. So it may seem like an unnecessary step to us, but if they wanted to reclaim their life, they would have had to go to the priest. This would have been a pivotal, necessary step. I mean, were the 9 who didn't return so anxious to reclaim their lives and re-enter society that they overlooked the source of their healing? They even give God credit for this miraculous healing on the road during their chance encounter with Jesus. We don't know. But the Samaritan, let's be honest, wouldn't have been welcomed by the priest anyway. He had no need to go any further. Healing on the road, an encounter with Jesus was enough. Like the bleeding woman, his encounter with Jesus was transformational, and it literally gave him new life.